The American Civil War, a story of a nation divided in the spring of 1861, the United States stood on the edge of a crisis unlike anything it had ever faced. For decades, tensions had been growing between the northern and southern states. What began as political disagreements over economics, states' rights, and slavery had evolved into a conflict that threatened to tear the nation apart. Families argued over dinner tables. Politicians exchanged bitter words in Congress. Newspapers fueled anger on both sides. The country was becoming two different Americas. The North was rapidly industrializing. Factories filled the cities, railroads connected distant regions, and millions of immigrants arrived seeking opportunity. Many Northerners believed the nation should move toward a future where slavery would no longer expand. The South, however, depended heavily on agriculture. Vast cotton plantations generated enormous wealth, and enslaved African Americans provided much of the labor. Southern leaders feared that any restriction on slavery would destroy their economy and way of life. The divide deepened with every passing year. Everything changed in 1860 when Abraham Lincoln won the presidential election. Although Lincoln did not initially call for the immediate abolition of slavery everywhere, many Southern leaders viewed his victory as a direct threat. One by one, Southern states announced their secession from the Union. They formed a new government known as the Confederate States of America. The United States was no longer united. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces opened fire on Battle of Fort Sumter in South Carolina. The Civil War had begun. At first, many people believed the war would be short. Young men rushed to enlist, eager for adventure and convinced they would be home by Christmas. Crowds cheered departing soldiers. Bands played patriotic songs in town squares. Reality arrived quickly. The first major battle, the First Battle of Bull Run, shocked the nation. What many expected to be a quick victory became a chaotic and bloody confrontation. Americans realized they were entering a long and brutal struggle. As the war spread across the country, enormous armies marched through fields, forests, rivers, and towns. Soldiers endured hunger, disease, exhaustion, and fear. Medical knowledge was limited, and many died from infections rather than battlefield wounds. The conflict soon became about more than preserving the Union. On January 1, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. The war now carried a moral purpose.